I personally heard na someone I know said, matagal na raw ako dito sa Canada pero hindi ako naging nurse because these people know na sa Pilipinas ay graduate ako and pasado ng nurse. So, maybe they're thinking na, ang tagal niya na dun sa Canada. I think mga 10 years na ako noon when I heard that. And then sa isip ko, iba talaga ang mindset ng mga nasa atin, no? Iba yung kahit na meron ka ng ibang pinili for them kasi graduate ka doon ng ganitong course, so you should be like that pagdating sa Canada. Dapat ganun yung trabaho mo, dapat ganun yung career mo. Which is, siguro hindi ko rin sila ma-blame dahil yun talaga yung kinalakihan nila na mindset. And they refuse to grow. Kung ano lang yung kinalakihan nila na mga akala, they're still holding on to that. So in today's video, I will talk about why I did not pursue nursing here in Canada. So I graduated nursing in 2010. And in the later part of 2010 that's when I met my now husband. And that time, nag-apply na siya ng Canada when I met him. He already applied to work in Canada sa isang agency. Now, when we met, I was volunteering. I don't know kung ano ng style ngayon sa Pilipinas pag graduate ka, if you want to have an experience, but back then, kailangan mo mag-volunteer, and if you volunteer, you don't have salary. And sometimes yung iba na nag-volunteer, sila pa magbabayad because there was so many nursing graduates in the Philippines. Talagang na-overwhelm yung mga hospitals dahil sa dami ng mga nursing graduates back then. Now, it was by fate na nagkakilala kami. Wala naman talaga akong plano na pumunta ng Canada, or I wasn't even actively applying dito sa Canada because first of all, hindi pa ako qualified because I just graduated, wala pa akong experience. So that's why nag-volunteer ako noon because I was hoping na maka-experience ako ng several years bago ako mag-apply ng abroad. But then, nung time na yung husband ko is nakuha niya na yung visa niya, he said na ayaw niya na akong papasukin dun sa pag-volunteer. So, I stopped. We got married and then he came here in Canada. And fast forward to 1.5 years, sumunod ako dito sa Canada kasi na-PR na siya. And of course, when you're a spouse, you are automatically included. So, mapi-PR ka din. Now, I came to Canada in 2012, October of 2012. Next week will be my exact 12 years dito. So when I came here, and even before I landed in Canada, I was really planning na mag-nurse dito. But a few months after I arrived in Canada, I got pregnant. So I got into maternity, then maternity leave. So 1 year plus, almost 2 years plus passed. But however, during this time na I was taking care of my baby or during my pregnancy, I was researching kung paano ba talaga maging nurse dito sa Canada. But during that time, there was no like content creators. I don't think YouTube was a thing back then na mag-share ng mga information for educational purposes. Everything was like vlog, mga live vlog, ganun. And I don't know if I just didn't dig deeper kung ano talaga, kung meron pa talagang nagsishare ng ganitong information online. But back then, internet was not like today na there's information out there, like everyone is sharing their experiences and how to get to this point, something like that. So walang mga ganong information, no. I did my research, but I was reading articles, I was reading merong mga forums back then na, but it wasn't clear for me, and I was taking care of my baby. And then also I was focusing na after taking care of my baby, like after my maternity leave, is babalik ako sa trabaho. So when my son was around 1 to 2 years old, I had this idea na you really need IELTS. So yun yung parang yung isang bagay na medyo clear sa akin na yun yung first step. So, I tried taking IELTS and I was busy. Yung wala ako sa mood or wala ako sa ayokong mag-review. So, I didn't do any studying. I didn't do any review or like practicing. Of course, I failed. It's not a hard fail, but I failed. Kasi, I think 7 yata ang passing pagka academic, and you have to pursue like degree in Canada or something like that, or a certain career like nursing. So after that, I was still working, and then nung nag-work ako sa isang facility na maraming Pilipino, and then I knew several people na they were in the process or they're done with the process and they're already LPN. So that time, clear na sa akin kung ano talaga yung process, but hindi ko pa na ano yung IELTS, and I don't want to start the process kasi you have to pay. During that time, I think $1,000, and then kung hindi mo pa masubmit lahat, and then parang mag-expire na yung application mo, I think kapag na-expire na siya, you will go back to zero. So you have to do it all over again and pay the application fee again. And then pagka hindi mo pa siya tapos mag-expire na yung English test mo, in case makapasa ka na ng IELTS, is you have to do it over again. And then this process made me really question like why Like, why this hard? Bakit ganito? They could have just simplified it na dito lang sa Canada, so and so. So, I have a lot of question in my mind kung bakit ganito. And then, na-discourage talaga ako kasi, first and foremost, when I work in a healthcare setting, I know what it feels like to be a nurse because I see them and I heard a lot of stories and I know ganito yung life ng nurse. And I know that being a nurse will really take a toll in your mind. And aside from that, the kind of work when you become a nurse, yung talagang shifting yung schedule, 12-hour shifts. Most of the time, merong mga 8-hour shifts, daytime, something like that. But if you are new, probably hindi ka maka-choose kung ano yung mga shift na gusto mo or like the line, yung mga line, mga specific na mga item kumbaga na makuha mo kasi there are a lot of seniors. And then, yung seniors yung makakuha ng mga easy na mga shift, like mga day shift, mga 8 hours, mga ganun. So, wala kang choice, diba? And I really didn't like, and I don't see myself working 12-hour shifts day and night alternatively throughout my life. Because ganito ha, nung nag-start ako mag-volunteer, after ako graduate, and yung parang first 2 weeks, something like that, nung pag-volunteer ko, parang life synced into me, adulthood synced into me that time na na-realize ko na, hala, ganito na yung buhay ko. Papasok ako every day. How would I have time with my family kung mag-asawa na ako, kung may anak na ako? Paano yun? So, parang adulthood for me is like, what? So, nung dito na ako sa Canada, and especially that realization happened like years ago, and then nung time na na-realize ko din na ganito 12-hour shifts sa Pilipinas usually is 8-hour shifts lang, diba? Dito is usually 12 hours, and then night shift. And I am the type of person na mahirap talaga ako makatulog sa umaga. Kahit na mag-night ako, kasi dati nagna-nights ako lagi sa being a care aide. Kasi yung asawa ko nag-work ng daytime and I was taking casual para makapili ako ng mga shift na nights para salitan kami kasi nga may bata, diba? So, I realized na this is not for me. I don't think I can do this. First of all, I don't want to work shifts like that, day and night. Second of all, I want to have time with my family. I want to spend my life with my son. And third is, I don't want to live a life of a nurse na it takes toll on my head. It takes toll on my mental health. And if you're a nurse watching this video, or you want to become a nurse, or you're already in the process or studying of being a nurse, this is not to trash talk nurses or like the nursing profession, but this is my choice. I don't know, but ganun talaga yung ko na I don't want to live this life na it will take a toll on my mental health. I wouldn't have time with my son. Although, malaki yung sweldo ng nurse dito, especially kung hindi ka na LPN, like RN ka, and you will get certain position na higher, na siya. So, the pay is lucrative. Pero, for me ha, it's not worth it. I said to myself, there's other career paths, there's other avenues of making money, ways of making money na hindi ganun. Because yung sa akin talaga, ang pinakamahalaga is, I want to spend my life with my family. Yun talaga yung pinaka ko. Kaya, nung nag-adulthood na ako, it really struck me na, oh my God, this is adulthood, really? And I heard na some people really had this experience na parang they wake up one day and realize na, what am I doing? Bakit work, tulog lang ako, work, tulog, kain, ganun lang yung buhay ko. And I didn't want to live that life. And ang isa pang rason is, I don't think nursing was really for me. Or, I was destined to be a nurse or work as a nurse. Kasi, when I was there and I was thinking of one day I'm pursuing this nursing profession, may nangyari sa akin and I got into surgery, and that's when I realized na, yeah, it's not for me. Nursing is not for me. Working as a nurse is not really in my path in this lifetime. So I followed my instinct, I followed my happiness, and I followed my passion, and I went into the business side of things. That's why I'm doing really different from nursing. Although I love nursing, don't get me wrong, I love nursing, and I didn't have any single regret, even a tiny bit of regret na I studied 4 years of nursing in the Philippines, kasi it really gave me this knowledge na nobody can take away, and this knowledge I apply every day with my parenthood, motherhood, being a wife, because as a parent our kids get sick and stuff, and if I didn't study nursing and I didn't have all this knowledge of how to pain management, like assessment, like all these things about nursing, kung wala akong knowledge na ganun, siguro I get easily anxious and I panic every time my son gets a fever. But no, I don't do that because I know how to manage it and I know how things work. And aside from that, I get to teach it to my son, like how you manage, like kung ganito, ganyan. And yeah, fast forward to today, I am so grateful na even though I didn't go to that path, because I really didn't want to go to that path, I'm able to stay home, yet I'm still making money and I'm doing what I love to do. I think that's the most important part, is you pursue your happiness and do what you love to do. Because there's a saying that says, if you do what you love to do, you don't have to work a day. Ang ibig sabihin is, if you're doing the things that you love, like you're choosing the career path that you love, you wouldn't think that you're working. For you, it's all fun. It's all fun and games. Well, there's going to be struggles, merong mga obstacles, difficulties. Kasi gano'n naman talaga ang buhay, merong mga balakid. And it's inevitable kahit na anumang gawin natin. Kahit na gano'n ka-happy tayo sa ginagawa natin, meron talagang issue na darating. And that's just part of life. It's so normal to have problems. Kahit na you think everything's going well, everything is perfect, everything is falling into place, after a day or two, maybe magkakaroon ka ng problema. So whatever you choose in life, choose what makes you happy. And for me, that's very important. I also instilled that to my son, that you don't have to think about what we want. Do what you want. The most important thing for us is you are happy doing what you're doing. Ayun, I just like to share that today because I remember this person who told someone about me na hindi raw ako naging nurse dito sa Canada kahit na matagal na ako dito, and I don't know, maybe she doesn't know that I don't really want to be a nurse. But anyway, thank you so much for watching my video for today, and if you can relate to my situation, please comment down below, and I would like to hear your short story as well, kung anong nangyari sa inyo, bakit hindi nyo pinili yung career path na supposedly is ganun kasi yun yung pinag-aralan nyo sa Pilipinas. And guys, I appreciate all your views, likes, and subscribes, and I will see you again in my next video.